Okay, so on the front here, just to finish things off, I've got a air filter kit that I'm gonna have to modify a little bit to make it fit, and I gotta put in all my radiator hoses here. Now for the bottom, I bought this coiled tube. That's about the only one I could use because it goes all the way back from the water pump here, and it curls back around and goes into the radiator. That was just like a 2.5 foot coiled radiator hose from O'Reilly's. Now for the top, what I did was, let's see, let me get this out of the way. I had bought this thing online. And it's somewhat of an adapter that'll put kind of right in the middle here, and it has the outlet for the steam port as well, since the radiator does not have that. So there's the steam port line. I'll keep that to the side for now. On the top, going to the radiator, I had it's this number at O'Reilly's. Basically what I did was I took this piece in with me, made sure it fit that. I knew that side was the same size as the piece going into the radiator here, and then on the bottom going to the water pump, that's smaller, which will mate up to that. I went and got this number hose, and I was just kind of looking for angles that I thought would work. So what I'll do is let me get this thing out of the way a minute. Get that out. What I'm going to do is I'll take this bottom hose. It's already on the water pump, but I'm going to kind of cut it right here-ish maybe, and then I'll just cut this here, and I'll be able to just hook it all up. Now, obviously it's got all the extra hose. I don't care about that. Just want to make it work. And once that's in, I should be good there. I got to put an overflow tank in, but that's no big deal. And then for the air filter here, I'm going to angle it back a bit like that, so it goes toward the center of the wheel. And I'm also going to have to cut it maybe right about there-ish, because this filter is pretty long, especially with the mass airflow sensor in it there. So if I do that, it'll sit right about there. If I steer, I won't hit it or nothing like that, so I think that'll be all right. Once I do that, the front end will be pretty much done. So let me get set up here and I'll get to work and see if I can get this all kind of wrapped up in the front. All right. So let's see if I can make this work here. I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it as far as I can so I have as much to work with as possible, because I'd rather, you know, not have to add more on, so to speak. So let's see. Okay, I'll chuck that. I'll just cut this right here. should be able to just put this on here, and here, and voila. It actually worked out pretty good, and then basically we'll just run this up here to there. So I'll get rid of that. And this will basically go right on here, just like that. And that is actually pretty darn good. Well, there you have it. That's going to work out just fine. Okay, so as you can see here, I got the air filter pipe cut down. It fits pretty good right where it's at. I might cut a little more off just so I have a little more clearance there. But I think I'm pretty happy with that. I got the coolant hoses all finished up. Basically, I can wrap this up, hook up the mass airflow sensor, and this should all be good to go. Okay, so I've got my 06 1500 Chevy or GMC pickup here. I put my computer in there that I'm going to use in the C10. I had unhooked the negative cable when I swapped it. I'm going to have to go through the sequence now in the truck with the key. It takes about a half hour, I believe. And once I get it going, if it does go, I got this all uncovered here. That's the body control module. I'll unplug everything on there once it's running. And I should have an unlocked computer then. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll let you guys know how it turns out. I cleared the computer with my truck, but it's a 06 truck, and this wiring harness is from an 02 or 03, and this computer is from an 05 van. And I guess what happened was my truck just revved out to like 2-3 grand, and then right up to about 4,000 RPMs. Did a little research, and apparently there's on these older computers there's no throttle position sensor like there was back on the or like there is on the new ones. So I had took it out because I thought maybe the computer was shot. But since I read that online, I figured I'd give it another shot. I let it rev out while I unhooked the body module in the truck, and then I turned it off as quick as possible. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm gonna give it a try, see what happens. Okay, the computer is hooked up. Now I have not hooked up the battery on this truck yet, not once. So I'm not really sure if I have if all the wiring's good. I'm not really sure, you know, if we're gonna have a barn fire here. But we're gonna try it out and see what happens. What I'm gonna, you know, I really don't know what's gonna happen. So we'll just play it by ear here for a few minutes and see what we're working with. I have no idea if the airbag system works, if the fuel pump works, nothing. So this will be a first. I'm a little nervous. A brand new battery, or it was a month ago. I never hooked it up to nothing, so it should be good, I would assume. Okay, I got power. See if I see any smoke. Do a sniff test. I'm going to be ready to pull that power off if I need to. I'm going to Look back here by the fuel pump. Definitely don't want that because there's a little bit of fuel leak back here. But I think we're all right. Checking the cab, make sure there's no smoke smell. I don't smell nothing. One thing I do need to go grab though is the key, or I won't be able to do anything. So I'm gonna go grab that, and we'll come back and see if anything happens here. Okay, well, I got the key. I'm gonna flip this around here, and we're gonna see if we can get it going. I don't know how it's gonna go, but let's give this a whirl. Okay, so I had a few issues. I went to start the truck, there was absolutely no power. I was kind of confused for a minute, but then I remembered on these trucks, you know, you gotta get power into the cab, right? Well, they had these little junction box or whatever down here, feeds the alternator off the old motor into the cab, whatever. And there was this wire that went through the core support, so I just kind of clipped it on there. When I did it at first, the starter just turned over right away, and obviously that's not good, not supposed to happen. And my starter wire I have going right into the firewall here, so I pulled that out, and then I turned the key on, which I'll do in a minute, and I'll show you. Because when I did that, the compressor goes right away. I had to go on the ignition switch underneath the dash there, and the guy that I got it from, he rewired it or something, and the purple wire to the starter was on full battery, and there was a black wire, just tiny little like 18 gauge wire going through the firewall on the other side randomly. I just touched the black wire onto the starter wire, but it was too small, I think wasn't enough current. So then what I did was I swapped the purple on the back of the ignition here. And now, when I turn the key on, I got my engine light on, obviously, but see that's going. And lights work. There, here. If I try to start it, woo! Okay, so it fired up and it really surprised me. I didn't expect it to, so that's kind of why I cut the video short. I'm gonna try it again here in a minute. I think I don't want to run it real long because I'm still a little worried about things. I want to make sure there's no fuel leaking. Stuff like that, but I want to see if there's oil pressure, and yeah, I don't have coolant in it yet, so another reason why I shouldn't run it very long. But let's give her one more whirl and see what we got. Hold on, thought I heard some fluid gurgling. Oh, that might have been going back in the tank. Let's make sure underneath here, no fluids. I don't see anything as far as fluids go. Oh. I think we're good. Let's see. Give it one more whirl. looks like I got oil pressure. But I might have either starved out of fuel there, or, whoo, smoky. Or my computer's not going to let it run. Not really sure about that yet, but she does fire and it sounds mean. So hopefully I can get a few things sorted through here, and then on my next video, hopefully we're at the point where I'm going to put coolant in it. I'm going to make sure fuel's good, obviously, a couple other things, and then hopefully maybe we can run it longer. Make sure everything's going to be good. I can finish up tying up all this wiring if everything goes well. And yeah, I don't know, maybe I want to make sure my training's good too. I have no idea. So that was pretty awesome though. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.